Hey everyone, Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We're going to have another What Sold on eBay this month. This one we're actually going to have a top 10 high-priced items. We did this last month. I think we did this in December also. And by the way, once again, I am Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. Definitely go down there and click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do eBay videos mostly every week. We have a few videos. We're actually going to have some new videos coming out next week. So if you're new to the channel, definitely click the subscribe button. We'll be giving away an Amazon gift card once we reach 7,000 followers, which should happen sometime this month. We're predicting we have about between like 10 to 20 new subscribers every day. So we definitely really appreciate all the love and support. And just, of course, right when I start streaming, I have an itch in the nose that usually like I have a sneeze that like is gonna probably be sneaking around the whole time. It is Saturday. I have my coffee, so I hope everyone is having a great Saturday. Here in Southern California, it is raining, so no garage sales. The first sip of coffee. No garage sales today, I should say. Everything's all rained out. We got Flipper Joe in the house. We got That's Sassy. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're going to go over the top 10 high-priced items sold through the American Cancer Society shop. And for those that don't know, all these items were donated by awesome patrons. So we really appreciate that. 100% of the proceeds go to cancer research, which is an amazing project to be a part of. And, you know, it's just one of those things that it affects so many people's lives. Cancer, that is. So definitely a great cause, and our link to our shop is below, so definitely go and check that out. Find something. Local pickup if you're in the Los Angeles area is free. And with that being said, I think we're time to get right into the top 10 things sold for high priced dollars. And you know what, when I started, I should have actually did, because I was curious to see what the percentage was of clothing that were in the top 10 this month. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 40% of the items that were high priced dollar values were clothing. And then I guess we would say like 60% were hard goods. And I would say mostly artwork and stuff like that. But we're going to get into that real quick. If you're enjoying this channel, definitely click the like button. Anyone in the chat, definitely, if you have any questions during this broadcast, definitely leave them below. Your comments, your upvotes. Hey, upvotes. There's no upvoting here in that's Steam It. Man, my Steam It brain's on Steam today. I was doing a bunch of Steam Monster stuff. And for those who don't know, I am the social media director for Steam Monsters, which is an amazing blockchain-based game, which is it's under the radar right now, but I think it has a potential to be the next Magic the Gathering game, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, let's get back into what we're doing here. First up, we have this Chanel what am I saying? Multicolored woman's blazer jacket. It is an EU 44, which is a US 12. And by the way, you can actually go on Google and search for women's clothing sizes, and I have a few links that I bookmark because some of these designer clothes are going to come in UK sizes, EU sizes, French sizes, and Italian sizes, and those are all different. So the thing is, for the most part, I would say 90, well, no, it's like pretty much 100% of our sales are shipped to the US, so it's always good to do the conversion if you can in US sizes. Oh, that's what I've learned so far, and I think that helps out a lot. I think when you put UK or French designers, well, I guess if you're a woman and you know what your size is and all the different ones, it makes sense. And my phone is already going off, and of course it's a mile away. So yeah, definitely check that out. There's lots of conversion sites that'll show you really good kind of conversions, and it's nice because there's one that I go to that actually will have like men's shoes and women's shoes all in one thing. So it'll have like all the women's sizes, all the the other sizes and stuff. Will you grab my phone since you're up here for a second? It's buzzing and I know it's far. What's up? Yeah, I'm live right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. I'll just mute it for a second. Okay, back at it. Thank you, folks, for waiting. Would you? It says I would, I would vote you. Clove71 is also a Steam Monsters team member, so Clove is doing an awesome job with the Facebook group and the tournaments. There's actually 4 tournaments. Actually, there's more than, I think there's 5 tournaments today. Some of them are in the hundreds of dollars. But anyways, back to Chanel. This is actually a great jacket. Let's look at it real quick. When I saw this, that when it came in, I knew exactly what it was. It's pretty much like a work of art. Look at the stitching on this thing. It's really, really amazing. It's really, really cool, as we can see here. And just, it's the Chanel jackets, and I'm not sure what year this one came out. I would guess like the early 2000s at some point, but this is actually a really amazing one. Of course, this is made in France, so it's going to have French sizing. So definitely go and look up that for sure. And if you guys can still hear me, leave a comment in the chat room, because I turned my mic off and back on. I'm not sure if it actually is working or not. So if you can just let me know in the chat room whether or not the sound is okay, that would be amazing. Okay, Landshark Picker, what's up, man? Actually, you know what, Landshark? I really would love to have you on the show at some point. You can contact me through Instagram. I'd love to just pick your brain. I know that you, I'm subscribed to your channel and you have some really cool content. So like maybe if you want to, it's up to you if you want to come on the show and, you know, we can have a one-on-one. I would love that. I want to do more of that stuff because I know like I used to love to do that a couple years ago, and it just life is so crazy for sure. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, great, everyone. Let me know that you can hear me just fine. Great. Cool, cool, cool. Next up is this Grace Slick White Rabbit limited edition print. And I always cannot never pronounce this word. It's like I always want to say it's glickly, but I know it's not. It's like Gasili or something like that. It's like a fancy word for a print. And it's funny because I know a lot about art, but I can never like, I always like skip that part because I just don't want to sound like a fool, which I just did right now. So if you please click the like button for embarrassing moments on how to say the English language. You know, I know a lot of people that speak multi languages, and I can't even figure out my own language. So that's just it right there. Anyways, yes, it is Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane. She actually signed this piece, and I'm not sure. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if she actually did this art, but I know that she's an artist, so I'm assuming that this was one of her pieces of art. This isn't original. I think if we had the original one of these, it probably would have sold in the thousands of dollars, but this was a limited edition print. I think it was of 300. That is her signature. And of course, we checked that against other items and things like that. And yeah, so it was at a 300. And I should actually do a video on autograph authentication. And I've talked about this lots of times on the show to do one. Because here's the thing is like pretty much anyone here could do autograph authentication. You just need to know like a few of the things to look out for. And I'm not going to get into that right now because that literally could be a whole show in itself. But anyways, yes, this was a Grace Slick. We actually, I think we took a best offer for 400 and something on this one. It was really cool. And I don't know why I left the photo like this with that, with the kind of the background on the black. That's like normally not my style. My style is usually a very clean photo. This must have been one of the early photos where I just had the thing set. Like normally I wouldn't have that little, you see the little patch of the little strip of black background back there. I normally wouldn't put that in the, and this is the title. This is the header. This is the header image. That usually is not what I do. But anyways, Yeah, Gray Slick, she does art. You can actually do research. Some of her stuff is pretty cool. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure this one was actually one of her pieces of art, but definitely really cool and really high end. And I've seen some of these sell for upwards of $600, but we took a best offer for 400 and something on this one because I knew it wasn't gonna move super fast. And artwork, people are very picky and finicky with artwork. So, I talk about how we have great sales with artwork, but the sales sometimes that are higher end are few and far between. I think that just a lot of people in general don't have a bunch of money still just to buy like high end art, though that's a huge market in itself. But your regular eBay customer is not going to be dropping hundreds of dollars on art. So it's just one of those things. Next up, this is actually really cool. Next up, we have this Greek bowl, handcrafted sterling silver. This thing was huge, and this was a good sale. Sold for $424. This thing was just solid 925, and I forget what the weight was on this. Was there a weight listed on this one? This wasn't one of my auctions. Oh yeah, 28.9 ounces of 925. And it's crazy that people actually donate this kind of stuff into the shop, but it happens all the time. I knew back in the day people would find silver all the time at Goodwills, but not like really much anymore, because over the last, I would say, 10 years, Goodwill has pretty much caught on about like looking for marks on potential silver and gold and things like that. But I remember like 10 years ago, you would be able to find not like crazy stuff like this, but like cups and little goblets and things like that at Goodwill, because some older pieces that are silver aren't actually stamped 925. They have like, especially like UK and other countries, silver will be stamped with these other little symbols. You just had to know what the symbols represents, because for the most part, 925, pretty much a lot of people know about 925 and about looking out for sterling and stuff like that. And so back in the day, you'd be able to find this kind of stuff in Goodwill. Not so much anymore. I do hear occasions of people finding crazy high-end silver things at Goodwill, but it's like few and far between. Like I was saying before, garage selling in the 90s was insane. Like I wish I could go back in time, because you would go to garage sales and there'd be a bunch of them in town, and like literally there'd be like no one there, and there'd be like Nintendo games like everywhere, and like all kinds of crazy stuff that you can't even find now at garage sales. I can't even tell you how many garage sales I've been to, and I don't even see Nintendo games anymore. Like even like the crappiest ones, you don't even see them anymore. Like it's crazy. Like it's almost like that ship has definitely sailed. Wow, I went on a sidetrack on this one. Click the thumbs up if you like the sidetrack on that one. Anyways, yeah, this was actually a really good sale, really good find, really good sale. Like I said, this thing is just crazy. Now, whoever buys this, I'm not sure if they're just gonna melt it down or whatever, but I don't even know if they can find the big enough thing. I guess like you can bend this and crush it up a little bit and then throw it in a crucible or whatever to pour it out. But man, that would be super insane. Next up, we have this Rock Newcomb Polychrome Bird Pitcher American Arizona Southwest. All those fun keywords. You know what's crazy about this piece of art? And I'm just going to say right now, when I first saw this and we got these in, and I was tasked to do the research on these pieces, and we sold another one last month or the month before for about 400 and something, and it was like kind of like the same kind of thing, just a different pot. And I will say that when I first saw this, I thought it was a print, but in closer inspection with the jeweler's loop, this thing is actually an acrylic painting, and it is just done so professionally well with the paint so thinned out that it looks like a print. And like that was one of the things that was probably the hardest thing to decipher on this one, was to figure out if it was an original or if it was a print. But once I did my research and I saw that I can pick up the little brush strokes that were in there, this thing was actually really, really good piece of artwork. We took a best offer for 300 and something on this one. What was probably the most amazing thing, other than the art? I mean, don't get me wrong, the art's really good. Whoever this Rock Newcomb guy is, he's literally like a master. He's a professional. The frame is not something you're gonna find at. I was gonna say Barnes and Noble. I was gonna say Barnes and Nobles. Like at Michael's. That's what I meant. The frame, I kid you not, is like hand done. This is a hand done piece of wood, hand chiseled, and it was just super amazing. This is the back. What was nice about this is the artist actually put all kinds of, the interesting inscriptions and things like that, which for sure you're not gonna find this kind of stuff usually in Goodwills. Though I would highly suggest studying about art, because you will. I have found pieces over the years that have gone for over $200 at Goodwills. I find that for the most part, a lot of people aren't really looking at the art at Goodwills, because I think art for the most part is so, I want to say, ambiguous, where there's literally like millions of artists and there's literally like millions of pieces of art. So I can understand where someone scans a barcode on a video game and they know what it's worth. Art, there's so much research and so much like, who is this? What is it? Is an original? There's like a lot of factors, and I think that that pushes a lot of people away. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said this a million times before for those, and I apologize for those that have watched this show a lot of times, art is going to be the thing that is going to be your multi-$1,000 item that you're going to find at a garage sale or a thrift store. So I would say to try to at least start to look into it. Like, sure, video games, clothing, collectibles, silver, all that crap is very good and well, but if you don't know anything about glass and art, definitely research that stuff. Because even just like when you go into Goodwill and you're bored and you've already looked for all your normal items, go and look at the art stack. I can't tell you how many frames alone you can probably sell for over $100. Now, I haven't sold frames in such a long time, and that's actually something I should probably get back into, because we get in so much art in our store every week. And some of the frames alone, if you start to know what frames to look for, especially vintage antique frames, you can easily get over $100. And what's crazy is Goodwill has a lot of that stuff still. It's like literally one of the untapped items, I would say, at Goodwill is artwork. No one's looking at it. No one's looking at it. No one's looking at it. Look at it. Research. Anyways, I said my piece. We marked this. I did the high-low theory on this one. We had it marked at $15.99. We took a best offer for 300 and something. Someone got an amazing piece, and so we were just happy to sell the art, because, like I said, art will sit sometimes. So don't get excited. Like I know I just pumped you up about researching art and looking for it, but I'm gonna warn you also, it's gonna sit. And so just be warned that art is long game. Art is not an Amazon thing where it's gonna have a nice sales rank. Art is literally like, you might have a piece for 2 to 3 years before it sells. So I have to at least say that. Next up, we have this Playmobil Western train set, Christmas holiday home tree decor. I think actually the Christmas holiday tree home decor, actually keywords on this one actually helps people see this. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about this thing. First, we got it in. Dory was nice enough to say, hey, we got a train set in, you want to take a look at it for eBay, because we do sell a lot of stuff in the shop. And by the way, if you're in Burbank, definitely come and visit the shop. You might think that, oh, Chris works there, or Chris is doing the eBay for them. There's nothing to be found on the floor. And let me tell you, I can go out there every 15 minutes and find like stuff that could easily be resold on eBay for twice as much. So there's that. But anyways, I saw this, and when I was doing my initial research, I was actually stunned to find out that this train set actually goes for a lot of money. So Okay, so let me just back up. So if you have a brand new one of these, they probably go for like $500 or $600. So that's just uh, out there right there. Hey, Nishi says, soaking in the knowledge. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been doing this for 30 plus years, so I have a lot of crazy stuff in my brain, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love this business so much. Is even though I've been in it for so long, I'm still learning every single day. So I really appreciate that. Anyways, so here's a crazy story about this. So when I saw it, normally if we have a train set that isn't going for a lot of money, I won't even take the time to test it or anything, because it's a lot of work. It might take like 20 to 40 minutes to set up a train track, and that's money, and you want to be efficient with your time because we're trading time for money. Hey, Death Piles is in the house. Man, you're another dude I want to have a one-on-one Instagram, another one-on-one interview with, man. So definitely hit me up on Instagram. Anyway, so I decided, okay, the used sets of these are going for between $200 and $300. So why don't I take the time, put it together, test it and everything. And what was crazy is I found tinsel inside the wheel well of one of the cabs. So I thought, like, once I set it up, I was like, you know what? This is probably was one of those Christmas trees or train tracks that went around the Christmas tree. So I thought, like, why don't I put that stuff in the title? And I think that's what really drew this auction. Actually completed in less than 24 hours. I had it listed for $299. I took a best offer for $2 something. I forget what it was. Forgive me. It was $2 something, and this sold really quick. And what I'm just saying, it's crazy how just a little piece of tinsel stuck in the wheel made my brain like think, whoa, why don't I put like those keywords in the title? Because for those who don't know, eBay is very keyword driven. It's very photo driven. So if you can have a really good keyword title and a really good photo, your description could be very brief and short, but those two combinations, and of course having an item that people actually want to buy, those three factors will help you have your sell-through rate incredibly fast, especially the keyword titles, because you always want to look into the search menu or the search bar and type in whatever you're trying to sell to see what some of the other keywords are, just like if you would do with Amazon. So yeah, so we took a best offer for this. I actually had to buy a custom box for this thing because it was like a 36 by 18 by 8. I had to go to the box store and buy a custom box for this, but it fit really nicely in there, and it's off, and we ship this via UPS. So huge shout out to UPS. We ship all of our bulky items UPS. That's another actually pro tip for those that are brand new to reselling, is look into getting a UPS account, because your bigger, bulkier things, you're going to want to ship UPS because you're going to save a lot of money. Those that are new, that have tried to ship a 15-pound huge box via USPS, and you're like, oh my god, this is $80 when it probably would cost you maybe 20 something to 30 something UPS, know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're not looking into UPS, and I say UPS because I know a lot of people like FedEx. I've just been a UPS guy since I can remember, so I usually go with UPS. And I should actually probably look into FedEx to see what the prices are for their kind of stuff too. But I'm very brand loyal. I'm very brand loyal, and I've always been with UPS. So there's that. Leave a comment below if you like FedEx more than UPS, and in the comments or in the chat, let me know what you use. If you use UPS or do you use FedEx, and tell me why. That would be great. I really appreciate that. Next up, we have this Donna Karen purple iris. Now, what's funny is this dress is beautiful. It's got sequins, but I couldn't for the life of me pick up the purple in the sequins for the photographs. Like I just couldn't until you zoomed in here. This dress is actually really amazing. Donna Karen dresses, if you can find them in great condition, go for a pretty good amount of money. I want to say we took a best offer for 200 and something on this one. I could be wrong. And of course it was with tags, and you don't even want to look at the price tag. Look at the price tag on this thing. $24.95. Man, and we only got like 200 and something for it. That just shows you the decay rate, I guess, with clothes. Now, of course, that's suggested retail price. Someone probably paid that much for it. Maybe it was on sale or not, but it just shows you, even if you have something super high end with tags, it's usually not going to go for even close to retail. Like certain collectibles will appreciate in value, I find that clothing, in the very small time that I've been here, rarely appreciates. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I would say like Supreme shirts, some of the Supreme shirts, graphic tees will appreciate, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really weird to see clothing appreciate in value, especially with the retail price. NASCAR Man 3345 is in the house. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat, that coffee, man. But anyways, we took a best offer to something on this. It was actually a really good sale. I wish we could have got something closer to the retail, but like I said, clothing is few and far between, because when you think about it, and I hate to sidetrack the whole topic here, but you know, clothing not only doesn't appreciate too much in value, there's so many different sizes. It's not like one size fits all, so it's very niche also. So you know what I'm talking about. Next up, one of my favorite brands to actually photograph is Loro Piana. Huge shout out to Krillin. Krillin's out there somewhere, probably in New Jersey. Yeah, he's the one that told me about Loro Piana like a year and a half ago, and I didn't even realize it was such a great brand till we started getting that stuff in. We talked about Loro Piana before. Here's what the tag looks like. Definitely look out for this tag. If you see anything with this tag, buy it, especially if it's cheap. Well, cheaper, or the low price, I should say. Baby cashmere. If you see stuff that says baby cashmere on it, buy it. It is the Loro Piana baby cashmere line. I don't think I've ever seen anything go under $100. I think we took a best offer for this one. I think I took a best offer for $250 on this one. Now, it's kind of like a double-breasted trench button cardigan. It is a more of a fancier style thing. There's a couple people that buy Loro Piana off us all the time when we list it. And this particular guy, who I think is actually a reseller too, has been purchasing our Loro Piana stuff quite frequently. But anyways, we took a best offer for this. Really quick sale, and a really nice piece. And the photographs with the new mannequin in the background are really looking cool. Next up, we have this Loro Piana. This is actually a men's 56 extra large. This actually fit me. I'm an extra large, and I had to try this on when I saw that this was a men's sweater. And I will say, this is gotta be one of the most comfortable sweaters I've ever worn in my life. And it was just a regular cashmere. It wasn't a baby cashmere. It had a hood on it, which is kind of rare for Loro Piana from what I heard. These kind of hoodies are very rare. Oh, thanks, man. Nishi's saying he found a Bogner piece with fabric. Oh, fabric by Loro Piana. Yeah. So what Nishki's talking about is Loro Piana actually sells their threads, and then other companies will make their clothes with the wool and the threads, and then they can brand it as a co-brand. Now, those are, I don't want to say they're lower quality. They're not quite up there with Loro Piana. Like, it's not Loro Piana official. It's like a step down. So there's Loro Piana sells their threads. That's like kind of like the bottom one. Loro Piana official is high value, and Loro Piana baby cashmere is like top value. So those are the things. If you see anything with Loro Piana and you can find it for a good price, let me know. And Neshi, leave in the comments or leave in the chat how much you paid for that and how much you sold it for. I want to know, like, if you don't mind, the ratio between the two, because I'm very curious. Because I know people will sell clothes that are made with Loro Piana threads as Loro Piana, and it's not really the case. It's like a co-branded item. So anyways, yeah, so this hoodie was amazing. It was crazy. I was like wearing it, and I was like, oh, this is probably the most comfortable sweater I've ever worn in my life. And as I'm saying that, this thing sold. We took a best offer for $250 on this. Like I said, same guy. This guy's like a collector or something on Loro Piana, and he snapped this up real quick. Next up, we have this Bennett Bronze. We talked about this on Instagram. This thing actually wasn't like in great condition. If this thing was in new condition, it probably could have went for maybe $400 to $800. I know that's such a broad like price range, but this thing was made in the 80s. I think this was 1982. It was out of 500. Did I take a photo of what it looked like? Okay, so this is what it looked like brand new, and it's selling for $2,500 in an official gallery. Now, for the most part, galleries are gonna way overcharge for art. Now, that's just the way galleries are. eBay is kind of different. It's got a different marketplace. Someone who goes and shops in a gallery is usually going to have the money to drop higher end money on stuff like that. eBay, you're going to run the gambit of things. So anyways, I showed this photo just to show. We took a best offer for $200. It had some issues. I had to tighten up the screw that was on the bottom so this thing would fit a little better. Of course, it's got a heavy patina because it's probably been handled like a million times over the last 30 plus years. You can see little touches of where that chrome, that gold chrome plate or whatever it is, was still a little bit on there. But for the most part, I did actually enjoy the patina on this. And for those that don't know, when I say patina, patina is basically like the not the wear, but almost like, let me see if I can show you what patina is. So like patina is this greenish crud that gets in between stuff. It's usually like a turquoise on bronze. Oh, actually, you know what? A good example of patina is the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was copper, I think, or bronze or something like that when it first was brought over. And then over the years, it oxidized and turned that greenish turquoise hue. That's patina. Classical patina is usually like green. And I'm going to show you real quick what patina is. Patina. Patina copper. Let's see if that shows you. Oh, so you can actually patina stuff. This is actually classic looking patina. Now, you can actually buy stuff to make your stuff look like this, but that's traditional patina. When you hear the word patina, I don't know the official definition, but it's pretty much like, I want to say it's like the oxidation of metal and the way it turns color and everything. If you know the proper definition, I can look it up probably pretty easily. Nishki's saying I can't find any comps. It's exclusive wood and Agora. Haven't listed it yet. Cost me like $5. Oh yeah, you should probably get, you know, a lot more than $5 for it for sure. Especially what it was. Did you say what it was? No, I don't know if it's a sweater or a blazer. Because usually Loro Piana wool is usually used. I've seen them mostly in blazers and suit jackets and things like that. But anyways, that's your school for patina. Next up, we have this Christoffel silver plate dragonfly Lilubelle vase flower heavy art deco. This thing's actually really cool. What did I say? How large? Yeah, did I say? Yeah, it's about 6 inches tall. But this thing was like super heavy, and like the funny part is, it actually is only silver plate, and it sold for pretty much as if it was pure silver, solid silver. And what it was, it's just a higher end brand. It was like, I don't want to say it was a limited edition, but these are hard to find, especially in this condition. Now, the patina, and let's talk about patina a little bit on this. Did I take a close-up photo? Can't really see it. There was actually some kind of black patina on this, which really looked nice on this particular, and that was like not intentional. This is just something that happens to silver over the years. One of the pro tips about knowing if something is silver or silver plated is you can actually just look at something and see by the way the patina kind of sits on the piece whether or not it's actually plated or real silver. And that just takes something that just takes many years of looking at plated, toned, and pure to understand what I'm talking about. And for those that have been in this game for a long time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep, so NASCAR Man saying patina is the chemical reaction of the materials to weather and elements. Exactly. So oxidation, all that funny stuff. Nishi saying it is a blazer. Hey, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat right now, in the live chat for sure. Let me know if you have any questions or anything before we wrap this up. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Yeah, so it's a blazer. I think you might be able to get between $70 to $120 for that blazer. depending on size, because we talked about this before. Some sizes do very well, some sit. So, you know, I really wish you luck on that. And I hope you guys learned a little something about Loro Piana threads. They do sell their threads to be used in other clothing, and then the other clothing brands will market as like a Loro Piana thread or something like that. But yeah, definitely click the like button if you learned something, and subscribe, click the bell for notifications. We're going to be doing some more videos next week. Hopefully we can schedule an interview with the auction professor. We have something possibly coming up next week. Everyone's super busy. We might schedule some more interviews next week. If you want to be on the show, find me on Instagram at Thrift Shop Hustler. Send me a DM. I'd love to chat. We can talk reselling and all that. I really appreciate everyone's support. Definitely click the like button, and I don't see any questions here, so we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you have some good sales. Take care.